Warning: China threatens Philippines and U.S. ally over U.S. missile deal, Warpath in the Pacific. China's military has condemned the Philippines over reports that a second U.S. intermediate-range missile system may soon be deployed to the Southeast Asian country. Inviting wolves into the house will ultimately harm oneself and destroy one's own home, Chinese Defense Ministry spokesperson Senior Colonel Zhang Xiaojiang warned Thursday, in a clear rebuke of United States involvement. Why it matters. The U.S. Army first deployed the mid-range capability, or Typhoon, missile system to Luzon, the Philippines' main island, in the spring of 2024, ahead of joint drills with Philippine forces. The platform is capable of firing both Standard Missile, 6 interceptors and Tomahawk missiles, which can reach parts of southern China. Philippine officials maintain that the missile launcher is purely for defensive purposes and not directed at any particular country. China has repeatedly called the presence of both systems destabilizing and demanded their removal. The issue has further strained ties with the U.S. Defense Treaty ally, already tense due to the long-running South China Sea dispute. What to know? During the Chinese Defense Ministry's regular press conference on Thursday, Zhang was asked about reports that another Typhoon missile system could be stationed in the Philippines. Zhang said the Asia-Pacific region is not a gladiatorial arena for major powers, and warned Manila not to repeat the mistakes of the past. The Philippines has intensified its efforts to introduce strategic and tactical weapons, tied itself to the U.S. chariot, and undermined regional security and stability by acting for the Tiger, which seriously runs counter to the common interests of the people of the countries in the region, the official said. Newsweek was unable to verify whether a second Typhoon unit is currently scheduled for deployment in the Philippines. But a U.S. Indo-Pacific Command official, speaking on Background last month, told reporters the deployment would move forward if they, the Philippines, say yes. Philippine Army Chief Lieutenant General Roy Galido previously expressed interest in acquiring more Typhoon units, citing their feasibility and role in archipelagic defense. The mid-range capability will be featured during the U.S. Australian-led exercise Talisman Sabre military drills in late July and early August. It will be the first Typhoon system to be test-fired in the Indo-Pacific region. Earlier this year, the Philippines received additional U.S. firepower in the form of Mises ship-killing missiles deployed to Baton's, the northernmost province facing the China-claimed island of Taiwan. What people are saying. Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. responded to criticism of the Typhoon deployment in January. "I don't understand the comments on the Typhoon missile system. We don't make any comments on their missile systems. And their missile systems are 1,000 times more powerful than what we have." U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth told reporters during his first official visit to Manila in late March, "We have already set a robust agenda for the next few years. Our staff, both of us, are going to remain actively engaged. It reflects the strength of our ironclad alliance, particularly in the face of Communist China's aggression in the region." What happens next? The Philippines is expected to continue strengthening ties with the U.S. and other friendly regional powers, with an eye toward China's assertive actions in support of its territorial claims within the Philippines maritime zone. The Philippines is expected to continue strengthening ties with the U.S. and other friendly regional powers, with an eye toward China's assertive actions in support of its territorial claims within the Philippines maritime zone. This growing partnership is not merely symbolic. It marks a strategic pivot toward collective deterrence in the face of rising regional tensions. Joint military drills, arms transfers, and intelligence sharing between the U.S. and the Philippines have intensified over the past year. Key to this alliance is the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, EDCA, which allows U.S. forces access to Philippine military bases, an arrangement now being fully utilized amid regional instability. Manila's increasing willingness to host advanced American missile systems like the Typhoon signals a more proactive defense posture. While Philippine leaders assert that these measures are defensive in nature, China interprets them as provocations that threaten its regional influence and security interests. This stark divergence in narratives continues to fuel friction between the two Asian neighbors. In response to these developments, China has conducted more frequent naval patrols and air surveillance missions in disputed waters, particularly near the Spratly and Paracel Islands. Analysts warn that such maneuvers, especially when combined with verbal warnings and military drills, increase the chances of accidental clashes that could spiral into a broader confrontation. To manage these risks, diplomatic communication channels between Manila, Washington, and Beijing remain open. However, meaningful progress in de-escalation has been limited, given the hardened positions on all sides. Beijing maintains that any foreign military presence near its claimed territories is an unacceptable infringement, while the Philippines insists on asserting its sovereignty and defending its internationally recognized maritime entitlements. Public sentiment within the Philippines is divided. While a significant portion of the population supports closer ties with the U.S. as a security guarantor, others express concern over becoming a frontline state in a potential great power conflict. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has sought to balance these sentiments by emphasizing sovereignty, modernization of the armed forces, and diplomatic engagement with all sides, including China. Looking ahead, the South China Sea remains a flashpoint for potential conflict. U.S.-led multinational naval patrols, including allies like Japan and Australia, have become more frequent in asserting freedom of navigation. Meanwhile, China has continued building infrastructure on disputed islands, further cementing its claims. Regional organizations such as ASEAN have called for restraint and the urgent need to finalize a code of conduct in the South China Sea, though progress has been sluggish. In the absence of a robust regional framework, bilateral and trilateral defense arrangements like the US-Philippines-Australia Pact may play a greater role in regional stability. As geopolitical dynamics shift rapidly, the Philippines finds itself at the center of a delicate balancing act, navigating between asserting its sovereignty, preserving peace, and managing the increasingly intense rivalry between the US and China in the Indo-Pacific. Whether Manila can maintain this balance without provoking further escalation remains a key question in the months ahead.